Well, hello everyone. I have another material from Grimsmith World, which I'd like to show you today. Um, I came to the material because I had a part which I wanted to copy or clone some surface detail off model, which I'll show you in a second. And I wanted a way of really duplicating that surface detail because I needed that sort of detail on something else I was scratch building, and I wondered how would I do that? How would I make a copy of something, fairly easily without having to go through the rigmarole of making molds, etc. Was there a material which was easy to use, easy to manipulate, and could give me the results I was looking for? And as luck would have it, there is, and I want to show you that today. Now, what it is, it's another two-part material. This time, it's a silicon putty. Again, part A and part B. And the idea is that you mix these two together. It gives you the silicon putty itself, and then you can press that silicon putty into a surface to basically make a copy, to clone it. That's the whole idea. It's a fast way, if you like, of making small molds for pots. Let's get out the box and I'll show you exactly how this actually works. Let me just do that and put the box down over there. As I say, two parts. You get 100 grams of part A and part B. Let's get part A open, and I can show you what it actually looks like. And this is part B. There you go. So part A and part B. So literally, it is mix these two together by volume. So let me grab a bit out of the first one, which is part A. That's part B. Let's get a bit out of there. It's very easy to manipulate. It's not as stiff as the Max Putty or the clay, which you may have seen on the store. This is um, very loose, I suppose I'd describe it as a material. That's a little bit too much. Let's put that back. It's important to get the volumes right so you get a good mix. Uh, take a little bit more off there, I think. Yeah. In the hand, as I say, it's very, very malleable. This stuff, and you do get a resin on your fingers. Absolutely, I can see that on my fingers now. It looks very much like an oil that's coming out of the material, particularly the part B. So you do get some material onto your fingers. So I'm just doing this so you can see exactly what kind of mess you get into, or what kind of mess you don't get into, as the case may be. So I just want to show you that, but I think I would recommend gloves for this, just to stop that material getting onto your skin, because you may have some kind of reaction to that. So I would recommend gloves when you're manipulating this stuff. Also, they do point out on the instructions that with this material, I think it's silicone gloves, that it's important not to use latex gloves with this material because it can actually affect how this stuff cures. So if you are going to use gloves, then do check that they are latex free. Otherwise, you might have some issues with this actually working. So it's literally that. It's the usual. Mix these two together, just as you do with any two parters. What you end up with, I say, is a very malleable material, which I guess it has to be because you're going to be pushing this into some surface detail, or if you want to copy something for your model making. This is why it's very, very malleable. Feels a little bit like I don't know if you guys ever used plasticine when you were a kid, or materials like that. It's maybe a little bit looser than plasticine, and maybe not as stiff as Play-Doh, shall we say. It's certainly not as stiff as the Max Putty, which is also on the store. But of course, Max Putty, the idea of that is to give you a material you can machine afterwards for the scratch building. This is literally a sort of handheld mold maker, I suppose you'd call that. So once it's uniform with its sort of I guess we call that sort of a mauvey colour. Once it's actually uniform, then you can actually press that into the surface. So let me just grab my trusty speeder test piece, which you've seen across all of these videos. So, for instance, if I wanted to say make a copy of, say, that part, for instance, there. If I want to make a copy of that, you literally take the material and just press it into the surface. That's all you do. You press that in um, till you feel that you've got a good impression of that, and then you basically leave that to cure. I say it cures in 2 to 3 minutes cure time. Uh, no, excuse me, you have a working time of 2 to 3 minutes, and that cures in 10 minutes. So you have a working mold in 10 minutes. So there's no hanging around overnight for this stuff, which is very good. 2 to 3 minutes to manipulate, and then 10 minutes before it goes off. So I'll leave that aside for now. So that will cure off in about 10 minutes, so you can start making parts from that mold. In good old Blue Peter fashion, I have one I made earlier, and this is what it looks like. So I'm going to bring that a little bit closer to the camera so you can sort of see. So it's a flexible mold with the impression of that part in the surface. So if you're looking for some quick way of duplicating a surface, duplicating a part, you want some surface detail you need lots of, this material could be what you'd be looking for. So once this mold's created, what could you use to make the parts? Well, I'll be using a few things. The first thing I tried was this stuff, this liquid UV resin. Because it's a liquid, it goes into all these tiny crevices and details, and then zap it with the UV torch, and then just pop out the parts. Um, you could probably use the UV putty as well. I mean, the consistency is probably good enough if you push it into the surface detail. Again, depends on what you're trying to duplicate. Have a think about the kind of material that you want to put into here. You could put milli putty in there. You could put, I'd say, you could put the max putty, which you also see across my store, which is new. You could probably push that material into these molds as well. Once that's gone rock hard, because it's flexible, you can be able to pop out the part without any issues. So it's kind of whatever you want to kind of duplicate. You have to think about what kinds of materials you actually want to use. Um, but it's a very interesting material. This silicon putty. Um, it could be very useful for I say for duplicating parts or anything else where you want to try and make a mold. Um, so that's the silicon putty. That should be on the store as you watch this. It could be a very interesting material for you guys if you're looking for something that has these kinds of properties. It has an application, absolutely. I mean, I use it, as I said, for duplicating detail, or if I need to make a copy of something, and I don't have a 3D printer, I don't go the rigmarole of scanning stuff in. This could be the issue. That could be the actual resolution for that. So it's kind of really part of my bench now. If I do want to sort of manipulate anything, or I need to copy a part, or whatever it is, I can absolutely do that. So that's the silicon putty. It's kind of become part of my bench. Absolutely, it's a very useful I guess tool to have if you want to make a quick impression of something or a quick mold. This stuff could be ideal for your applications. It's very easy to manipulate. As I said, careful with the latex gloves when you're using this stuff because it could impact how well that cures. But it could have an application. I'm sure you're all thinking about, yeah, I could use that, or I've been doing it the old-fashioned way with a mold and making impressions and maybe using two-part silicon molds and trying to pour those. This flexibility and the fact that it cures in 10 minutes is great for workflow. You're not having to wait 24 hours at least for some of the other materials to cure. So the fast curing is great. So that's the silicon putty from Green Stuff World. That's on the store right now. As I said, if you have any questions or any queries about how to use this stuff, or if there's an application you're thinking of, do come back to me.